Hi, welcome to the Chess Den here in Marlow, New Hampshire. Got a special treat for you today. As it turns out, our local young gunslinger, Ian Dudley, over the weekend there, he beat Grandmaster Alexander Ivanov at the Greater Boston Open. Good job. Alright, I just want to remind Ian, probably when you leave stuff in your pictures on your profile, somebody might come along and steal them. So let's see how our young gunslinger did here. I've got the game pulled up on Lee Chess here, and starts out, let's see, Ian is black against Grandmaster Ivanov here. Comes up with a Caro-Kann defense. Ivanov plays the advanced defense. This is a 60-minute game, I believe, so this is legit here. It's not some 5-minute game. Bishop f5, very good. h4. Now, for those of you who don't know, the main threat here is going to be a pawn storming and maybe even trapping that bishop if you don't take some precautions to it. h5 or h6 is the usual way to handle that. c4, he's going all guns here, Mr. Ivanov. So probably what I would have played too. And we're securing the center. And knight to c3, knight to d7. At this point, Ivanov determines that it's probably good to take on d5 here. Black make a choice here. Goes thematically, c takes d5. Black should still be doing okay here. Now there's a little bit of a problem here. Bishop g5. So normally this would be your not so good bishop if you're on the white side of this sort of pawn structure. So you'd be happy to trade this off with a bishop to e7, and also you might be bishop e7 might end up running into something like this. I don't know. I guess no. That doesn't quite do anything at this moment, but there's ideas there of occupying d6 once you trade off that bishop. So naturally he doesn't want to do that. He plays here, but this has its own weakening problems too. I'm not sure exactly what the correct move order was here. So let's see. This has been played in master practice before, as it shows on my screen here. So we're not out of somebody's book yet. And okay, all been played by mid-level masters before, sometime in the fairly recent past. Bishop f4. So with bishop f4 here, now we're looking at the position. What do I see here? I see that white has the two bishops here. Black has the two bishops too. Sorry. Got some weak squares on the queen side. This diagonal here is starting to look a little bit weak. This pawn over here is going to be a definite weakness because you're going to pile up the bishop here and double attack that, forcing this bishop to come down in a very passive position guarding that pawn. So which in a sense is going to make this bishop right here, his duty on this diagonal here is going to be curtailed, I should say, by the bishop's going to come to e2. Alright, so bishop coming out to b4. Kind of a, I'm not sure if you want to trade that bishop off, but what else are you going to do with it? Okay, knight to e2, keep our options open. Knight to e7, got to develop somehow or another. So the weak squares for white is going to be the c4 square and the e4 square. For black, his weak squares are going to be like h6, h5, c5, a3. Now, does he want to get rid of that bishop? I personally wouldn't want to get rid of that bishop too handily, but I don't know. It's a tough call. And I think that white's significantly better here at this point, because now there's these weaknesses here are really starting to show. a6 sort of must be played to prevent that knight from coming in there, but that creates a bigger weakness on c5. because now to cover c5 you'd have to play b6, and that starts weakening other squares like a6 and c6 and stuff like that. So Ian's already on the way to making weaknesses here. g3, I guess that's sort of a solidifying move here. I'm not sure it's entirely necessary at this point here. If it's me, I'm thinking of just playing this and putting the question to that right away, because really the only answer to it is this. And once black plays bishop to g6, do you need to play g3? The rook's not coming over to attack this or anything, so I don't know. That's my thought. I wouldn't play g3. I'd play bishop e2 right away. I'm not looking at the computer in any of this stuff here, so this is just off the top of my head. If anybody here wants to check this with the computer, by all means go ahead. Queen to b6. We've got to get some activity here, threatening to b2. Knight to a4 comes with the tempo, of course. And now we have to reroute the queen to a7, which is unfortunately probably the best square for it. Not a great square, but that's what we're going to have to live with here. So rook to c1. Now that rook's threatening to come into c7, which would not be terribly comfortable. So knight to c6, double attacking this. Got to get some counterplay going here, which is a very good move because it sort of forces a major concession here, as him to back up that bishop back to e3 from f4. So now, what the heck was that g3 move? It doesn't seem like it was making a whole lot of sense there. King f7, let's find a useful square for the king, maybe safe. Let's connect the rooks, all makes perfect sense. Now bishop e2. Once again, this g3 move, I mean, he was probably thinking of playing the bishop to g2 or maybe h3 or something, but it didn't seem like the most useful move. As you can see, bishop e2 on h5 is very strong. So he castles, sitting on a nice position here. White probably up 7/10 to a whole pawn, probably here positionally, even though not materially. And now he's demonstrating that he has control over the c5 square by planting a knight there, and now planting a rook there. And now, that's interesting. Why would he go that way? I would consider playing b4 here myself, but Grandmaster goes this way. It's got a threat of here. And then rook to c8, and then this rook to c7, causing humongous problems on e7. So he says, no way, Jose. And of course he can do this because this knight is guarding that. So this bishop takes c5 doesn't work. So if he didn't have that move right there, he'd be in some big trouble for sure. Still not out of the woods. Now queen to b6. The threat here is probably a4 again. It's still a good move. But as you can see, black's got to get active here. So it says queen to b6, preps knight to d6 to c4, because you got to get something active here. But you're still going to have to deal with all these threats along the file here after you move queen to b6. And now queen to b6, you got threats along the file. So if this pawn comes up here, can't be taken after the knight moves, it's you're going to have problems with that too. So rook to c6, rook to d8. Now something like a4 could have been played, right? a4 any good here? Oh wait, no, a4 comes into a5. And you can't take there right away because the knight's guarding b5. All right, correct. So we prep that. Now if a5, we can go queen to c5. He's going to come here and counter that file temporarily. And slam-a-bama. And puts that rook right there. Now could we have played a5? So if I play a5, where does he go? Here, double attacking that, then we can go here, and we're still on the queen, here, Queen still has to move somewhere. And now white's got a huge problem here. Because if he takes, he's got a pawn. Oh, wait, sorry. Can't go there. Must come back here. There's the bishop there. But still has the same problem. Might have to go back to something like this. Can he hold this position? I don't know. It's tough. So let's see what happened in the game. Ian played a passive move here. Oh man, that doesn't look right at all. That does not look right at all. Now, he is threatening. Bishop takes F. Bishop takes D6 and rook takes B5, I believe, is the threat. Discovery attacking the queen and grabbing a pawn here. Okay, takes. I don't think that solved it here. Should take D6. Queen to C2. What? Alright. Queen to C2. I was thinking this was the move here. Okay. Queen is attacked. Rook is double attacked. Obviously, if rook takes rook, queen takes queen is bad. So really the only move here is this, right? And then he plays this. And then what? You're up a pawn. Can he get this going here? Takes here, check here, takes here, and you arrive at this position. And then he gets this in. Ah. And this is rather awkward. That pawn there is sort of hung out to dry. And white doesn't have a good way of getting to that pawn because this costs the tempo, and the black king is going to come meander right on over here and win that pawn. Unless you get a well-timed G4 in. So this is going to have to be a move here. It's F5 to stop G4. Interesting. Ivanov chose another course here. That's why he's a GM. So Ivanov went for file domination here. I mean, it looks logical, right? Rook to C6 is a pain in the ass. So how's he going to deal with rook to C6? He's going to go E5. Time to get activity, which I would probably highly recommend. He doesn't go for rook to C6. He just solidifies his position with B4. Interesting. Why not rook to C6? Because he takes this. This looks highly dangerous for him. I don't think he could have done that. Let's see here. That does not look like some fun. So how is he going to handle rook to C6 here? This is good. This is double attack. So what here? But then just this seems very strong. Oh well. Yep, I think Ivanov had a stronger move there. I think he was overestimating queen takes A3. Now, let's see here. What do we have on? So now we're starting to open up that file and get some threats going here. Rook to C6 was also a possibility here. Forcing queen to F5. But now then E takes D4 would, see if rook to C6 and rook takes here. Now E takes D4 is a serious threat because he's going to have so many pieces hanging at the same time. So maybe that's why he didn't go there. Okay, so he goes queen to D2 and he's poking over here, which is interesting, but what is that queen going to do over there? There's no checks. This is going to get something going along the back rank there. So, young gunslinger Ian. I love that music. Okay. What are we going to do here, gunslinger? Okay, E takes D4. Well, we just won a pawn here is what we've done. So he's up an ugly doubled pawn, but now this rook's got some activity going here. This bishop's threatening to push that pawn and make something of it. Ivanov has really got to be careful here. So, bishop f3, double attacking d5, the weak pawn, ignoring that pawn. Very, very good. I like that. So what's he got here? Queen e5, let's trade queens. Which I think would be happy for Ian here. He'd be happily to trade queens here. Even though it might be a tough endgame, even endgame. Because all the squares are, all the pawns are on light squares. But, I don't know, what else did you have here? Rook to e5, double? No, that just looks too awkward. Stay active, that's good. He steps out of the forced exchange with a check. Now he's got a double defender on it, so we're actually defending everything for the moment. And here it comes. Ivanov, queen to h6. So he has no checks right here. He can come to the 8th rank. But the only way he's going to create a threat here is if he brings his rook down. And even then, what is the threat? Rook down? There's going to be a bishop hanging here eventually if there's a rook check. But if he goes here, then there's a queen check. So the threat here is rook to the 8th and rook check, king d7, queen to g7 check, king up, and the queen takes bishop, winning the bishop, right? Okay. And our hero here, he figures that out and decides that's the point that needs overprotecting. And as an extra bonus, there's a bishop hanging on f3. This is starting to look really good here because I'm not sure here what he's got here. Queen to f5, bishop on f3. What's he going to do here? What would he do here? He's got this hanging. King to g2. Then what? Just push the pawn? And you create sort of an avenue. Push. If king to g2, I'd be thinking about pushing that pawn, and you might make a little squirt out for the king out that way. Interesting. So how does he handle this? He ignores everything and goes for it. That takes balls. That takes some balls here. So, queen f1 is not a mate. Going out to e6. If you go queen takes bishop, you're also getting another square to escape your king to. So, queen takes. And what does he got here? Let's see. He goes queen there. That's interesting. Definitely trying for the win here. What happens if I go here? Check. Now, if he goes here right away, I think I can come here. And what? I got check here. Let's see here. Let's say king to the back rank. Does it matter a whole lot? No. Isn't he going to get out of a draw here? Does he have a draw? see, rook here, check, king there, and there's no checks. Right? Correct. Huh. Yeah, king. That's fascinating. He gets out of all these checks. Okay, so king here, king up there, rook covers that check, covers that check, queen takes d5, check, that looks like a good check. That looks like a draw. Here check, if here check, here check, here check, here mates. Boy oh boy, let's see here. So, king there. Now, obviously black has a draw here, but is he going to try and win this is the question. I think this might be a winning shot actually, because what does he have for checks if I don't oblige him? So he goes here. Then I gotta go here, then here. Can't go there because a rook. Can't go here because a rook there check would be deadly. So then I'd have to go here. And then we're at a repeat. No, here, there, there. This gets terribly complex here. How do I attack the rook? Or I check. Maybe I check here. Can't come to the dark squares because he gets a skewer there. But I come there. And now the king's actually going to help mate the guy. Maybe. No, I can't come to that file because of this rook check. Can't come to this diagonal because of there, but he doesn't have any checks at the moment. At the moment, black seems to be winning this, right? What if I come there? Now, if I come there, then he just backs up. Seems like a good plan there. I'm going to find a safe home here somewhere. Seems like black's going to win that, right? Huh. Alright, so back to the game. He goes queen takes. Queen there, check. This just looks like it's bound to run out of checks to me. King there. Rook there, check, right? Okay. King up there. Definitely didn't want to go to f5 because you're hanging f6, so this is all double guarded. Everything looks good so far. Queen to b4, b8 check. Not a bad deal. Coming there. And now what has he got? Now queen takes f2 is coming. Queen takes f2 is coming here. If he goes king here. Where does he go with that? Can't really go bishop f5 because of f6 is going to fall. I guess I'd just go here. I'm 2 tempos from getting in there, buddy. That pawn's starting to look strong. So what did he play? Oh, he played rook c2 at this moment. Desperation trying to guard that f2 square. This does not look good. And king to e4. Very outstanding move. Very young man. And then not only does that attack the rook, but it opens up this diagonal right here, which is actually going that way. and guards the rook, but this key pawns here are covered all the squares, and he finishes off with bishop e4 exclamation point, and black is just mated here. There is nothing going on here. And that was a very good game. Congratulations, Ian. Very nice game there. Just for the record, I could have beaten Ivanov once. It was a 30-minute game. I was up a pawn and had a better position, and I choked it. So I know how easy it is to let things like this just crumble under pressure. I'm an expert at that, let me tell you. But that's it. Congratulations, Ian. I have no idea how he did for the rest of the tournament, but I assume he did pretty good. But even if you didn't, heck, you could just go home after beating Ivanov like this in the first round. Thank you very much for watching. You can like and subscribe. And have a good day. See you at the club tonight.